The dictionary definition of the word aspire is to direct one's hopes and ambitions towards achieving something. This is something that resonates with me because it's something that I and so many others have to deal with every single day. As high schoolers, we face so many new pressures that we've never encountered before. We can either choose to let these pressures crush our spirits, or we can strive to do better and rise above them. High school is a learning experience for everyone, but it may be tougher for some than it is for others. To put this into perspective, in my life, I and so many other teenagers face the same issues constantly in a school environment, worrying about how we will fit in, what we can do to make sure we are well-liked, or how we can change ourselves to fit to the common standards of society. Conforming to social norms is a very common issue that many people tend to overlook. The immense pressure of high school is generally terrifying. On top of that, there's endless homework and schoolwork. Then, as teenagers, find ourselves worrying about the minute details, such as how to act around certain people, what to wear around certain people, and how we're going to fit in with these people. This desire to be accepted presents us with the idea of immediate gratification. As teenagers, we live in the moment, so anything we can do to preserve our status for that one moment of bliss seems entirely worth it. But by working so hard to be just like everyone else around us, we tend to lose our own identity. The beliefs and ideals of those around us also tend to have a large impact on the way we act as a whole. Our own opinions and beliefs slowly begin to blend in with theirs, and because of this, we can maybe even lose our unique voice as well as our own identity. And because of this, maybe even our own identity. Now, this is something that may not be seen in just families, but it can also be seen in schools, workplaces, etc. And it may not even be a rapid change either. It may be gradual and occur over time, but it pushes us further and further away from that concept of delaying our gratification. By striving so hard to be just like those around us, we only end up hurting ourselves. An example of this can be seen from a 1920s biologist named Israel Kleiner. Israel Kleiner lost credit for his work in the discovery of insulin. Why? Because he let the masses influence his choices. Rather than stick up for himself and push for his research to be recognized, he let the people around him decide that it was not valuable enough. Had he just stood up for himself and considered his own beliefs, he wouldn't have lost credit for this idea, but instead, he wasn't credited for a discovery that he deserved to be credited for. Now you may be wondering, why is this girl rambling on about a random biologist when the topic is to aspire? But don't worry, we're getting back to that. In situations such as these, we find that we need to define ourselves on our own. We have to figure out whether to strive to be better or settle for mediocrity. Now for me, when I find myself at this crossroads, I simply consider the morals and values that I learned from my grandfather. Throughout his life, he has sacrificed the contentment of settling down in one location in order to ensure the happiness and prosperity of those around him. He has done everything he can to make sure that his loved ones have the best quality of life. If this is a skill that I could one day master, I would be so lucky to master this skill, and I could only ever be half the person that my grandfather is today. He inspires me daily. When I feel I'm losing motivation, I simply step back and I think to myself, what would Dada do? He pushes me to be the best version of myself, and always knowing that I'll have him in my corner to support me is very important to me. I feel that I can be my best self as well as have any guidance in tough situations just by knowing that Dada is one phone call away. Now, for you, you may also have a role model or mentor in your life that inspires you the way my Dada inspires me. But I just want to remind you that you can also strive to be better and be yourself, because after all, if I'm not me and you're not you, then who will be? Thank you.